Good morning, everyone. Well, it's morning here anyway. It's 9:30 on Thursday, the 29th of October. And it's either the start of week number 5 or the beginning of week number 1 for November. Because this week will straddle both the end of October, including Halloween, and the beginning of November. So it's either week 5 or week 1. Take your pick. So of course, with it being Thursday morning, and as you can see, I'm wrapped up very, very warm. The wool coat's out. I've put my summer thinner jacket away for the time being because the temperature has dropped. It's plummeted. According to the temperature guide in here, it's 47 degrees Fahrenheit, so I'm not sure what that is in centigrade. Probably something ridiculous like 8 or 9. So yeah, it's not exactly a warm day today. We are scheduled or forecast for lots of rain later on this afternoon. Now they did say that torrential rain with flood warnings here in the UK, so that's going to be fun. So hopefully I can get the shopping done with Mum and back home again before the heavens open, but we'll see. Got your mask and everything?
Probably in my bag. They're always there.
Well, do you want to check before we set off?
Oh, some there,
I was going to say there's a sparesy there. Well, a couple of sparesies.
Yes.
Okay.
I think I left the flowers on today.
The flowers?
I left the flowers in the rain.
Right. Took it under the glasses. Hopefully that'll stop any condensation and misting up. You ready? Well, I can't say that was a pleasurable experience today. There's too many people in there.
Really?
Yeah. Well, when people have to stand and wait for you to get past and go down the aisle.
Yeah, but that's because people are stupid with the trolleys.
I know, but there's too many people in. You shouldn't have to stand and wait like that. Because it doesn't help when people just stand there yakking in the middle of an aisle,
No, that's true.
blocking it with the trolleys. But there you go. Oh, excuse you. It's Friday morning. Well, I say morning, it's fast approaching lunchtime. My stomach is telling me so. We've popped out today, both of us. I'm not driving, I'm sat in the passenger seat, to get essential supplies. And I'll say essential supplies. we discovered whilst doing our accounts and everything that we didn't have adequate storage or filing. So we've had to come out and buy files and pockets, plastic pockets, and folders and things to keep all the accounts in. So we've had to do that, and Ian's also nipped into the local hardware store to pick up some essential items, some bits of plumbing and that kind of stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with the plumbing at the house, it's so he can carry on building his machines, because he's got some commissions in. So we've all come out today. So Mr. Bentley's in the back somewhere, is snuggled down in his cushion and his blanket in the back, because it's all horrible, cold and wet. A true October weather day today. So with any luck, we'll be back home very soon, so I can fill my tummy. So I should also point out that being in the next tier of restrictions, if you like, or quarantine, the shops are still open. All the shops are still open. Hairdressers are still open. Everywhere's still open. It's just you've got to be more careful. That's pretty much it. There's not a lot really that's changed. Apart from mixing in groups and that kind of thing. Say hello, just lean in.
Hello. I just bought some super glue to mend Mike's spectacles. Because you've broken your other ones, haven't you?
I have. That was a mouthful.
Wasn't it? I
Yes.
like to think about it.
Yes. So anyway, I was just saying that the moving into tier 3 isn't a complete lockdown, is it?
No.
Everywhere's still open. All the shops are still open. Even the non-essential places are still open. It just means that you can't gather in groups.
Well, we don't know anybody to gather in a group, so
No.
we're fine.
So
Can two be a group?
well, yeah,
3 including the dog?
yes. Oh, just pull that a bit further forward. There we go. 3 including the dog.
Yes.
So yeah, and having mum and dad over and that kind of
Oh,
stuff is fine because it's less than 6.
Yes.
So it's Monday,
Yes.
yes, 2nd of November, and it's been announced that the country, England at least anyway, is going into full lockdown, as opposed to just being tier 3, as of Thursday, which is much needed, and we agree totally and wholeheartedly that it should happen for at least 4 weeks. So it's until, was it December something or other?
December the 2nd, I think.
Or 9th or something like that anyway. But of course, the great British public, or English public, being what they are, started panic buying again when there's absolutely no need. But we are queuing again. We are wearing masks this time, which we weren't doing last time, which is a good thing. So yeah, we're all maintaining social distance, all that kind of stuff. So Ian and I have popped out this morning, just to buy a little bit more paint so that we've got something to carry on decorating during lockdown period. So we'll have enough to do my ensuite bathroom, because that yellow, don't like it. So I'm going for a stone-washed blue this time.
Well, it took how many coats?
It took 4 coats, that yellow.
And then we peeled the masking tape off and it pulled the paint off in a big sheet.
It did.
So it was a bit of a sheet itself, wasn't it?
So going into more of a blue kind of tone this time. So we'll see whether that works or not.
Downstairs lavatory we've done as well.
Yes, we've almost completed the downstairs room of requirement, which is the Harry Potter downstairs loo. So we've also already bought the paint to do the spare bedroom. So we're okay for that. So at least we've got things to do during lockdown. We've also nipped out to the range this morning, to get some more gloss paint, but also I've been and raided the craft section because I've got an idea that I want to work out.
It has.
And it'll give me something to do during the next 4 weeks, extra projects to do for the next 4 weeks. So yes, it's going to be a bit of a busy morning. We're going to nip up to
The big B&Q.
the big DIY store, just to get 1 or 2 other bits and pieces while we're in there. And we're on a bit of an angle today. I feel like I should be falling that way. Yeah. So it's going to be a bit of a busy morning.
Hold the screen up for you.
Yeah, thank you. Halloween kind of came and went without too much of a bang or a whimper. We only had about half a dozen children who came for trick-or-treating, but what we did was we put a few decorations up, not a lot, and we put a table outside about 3 or 4 feet away from the front door, still under cover, because we've got that little kind of canopy above the front door. So we hung kind of pumpkin garlands across the top and some of that spooky kind of netting that looks like cobwebs but isn't. Above that with a big kind of door hanging that said "keep out" with bloody handprints all over it, that kind of stuff.
Language.
And we had this table outside with a black cloth on with a big bowl of sweeties, candies and treats and that kind of thing. But also we made up some goodie bags for all of the local kind of neighbourhood kids or the neighbour kids, and hand delivered those because we'd been told that some of them weren't going to be trick-or-treating. So instead we took those little goodie bags that had, you know, sweeties and little Halloweeny kind of toys in,
And you put your...
but also
Yes.
but also the zombie dolls that I'd made.
We put them in.
I put one each of the zombie dolls in each one of the kiddies' Halloween trick-or-treat bags, and then we hand delivered those to the parents so that the kids would have something if they weren't going out trick-or-treating.
And they loved them.
Absolutely loved them.
And the mums loved them as well.
So that's Monday. When we get back, we've got decorating to do. We've almost finished the year-end accounts. Well, I've almost finished mine. Ian's done his. He's finished. Done. I've still got a few minor tweaks and adjustments to put in because I've forgotten stuff, such as payments to companies like Adobe. I've forgotten to put their invoices in. So I've still got a few tweaks to do on those, and also I want to sit down and plan what I'm going to be doing or what we're going to be doing Steampunk Tuesday and that kind of stuff until the end of the year.
Yes.
So that's what kind of today is going to entail.
Busy.
Yes, did cook yesterday as well.
Did.
I made some Cornish pasties,
They were
my
lovely.
own style Cornish pasties, which we had for tea last night. So yes, so it has been a busy weekend. I just forgot to film. Sorry. Do it again. So as part of the overall decorating of the house is going, we've finished the front bedroom, we've finished the back bedroom, and we had quite a bit of spare paint left over when we did the main front bedroom. That was the bluey, greeny, tealy colour. So what we thought we would do is we would apply that to the downstairs necessarium, or the room of requirement as it's now known, because we're turning the downstairs loo into a Harry Potter themed little room. So the paint that we've used in the front bedroom, that tealy greeny colour, goes really well in there. Because there's no natural daylight, it doesn't matter whether it's dark or light, because you've always got to put the light on when you go in anyway. So decorating's finished, and we've started just to move the Harry Potter stuff in. So there you go. As you can see, I have my wand rack in there.
There we go.
A selection of wands. Official Harry Potter wands.
And when we went to the Harry Potter experience,
In January, we also bought the big wall plaque. And of course, the slogan underneath that, if you don't know already, reads Draco dormient nunquam titilandus.
which means
Never tickle a sleeping dragon.
I'm really pleased with it in here. Look at that. Look at those corners. Look
Yes.
at that.
Very precise. Very precise.
I like my paintwork to look right.
Absolutely. So all we have to do now is to start bringing in all the other Harry Potter themed pictures and plaques and signs. So there's the Diagon Alley sign to bring in. There's the platform 9 3/4 Hogwarts Express sign to bring in.
There's our wanted prisoners.
Exactly. There's our 2 posters, one each for the Have You Seen This Wizard, And there's one or two other little
There's the
bits.
big Circus Arcanus.
There is from Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald, the big French circus poster. We've got a massive 3 foot by 2 foot poster that we're going to have framed and put in there too. So we're going to add we've got some chocolate frog cards as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to add some more bits and pieces as time goes on. So I will give you an update when we've got more on the walls. I think I've just locked the car with me in it. Oh, it's Wednesday morning, about 9:30. Let me just start the engine. Just turn the radio off. Okay. So obviously I'm in the car. I'm just going to go grab a few bits and pieces from the supermarket. When I go and do mum's shopping tomorrow, I'll be going to one of the smaller stores where I can't get certain brands. I've told you this kind of thing before. So anyway, I'm heading down to the main big supermarket. The full effect of total lockdown starts tomorrow, so I'm anticipating this isn't going to be a pleasant experience going to the supermarket. I've got my anti-bac, I've got my mask, I'm all set up and I'm all ready. So we'll start doing mum's shopping for her from tomorrow. Oh god, the sun's bright this morning. We had a frost this morning when I woke up. The top of the shed and the car had a sprinkling of glitter, which is always a sign. And then reading the news this morning, obviously America went to the polls yesterday. Result still not known, and I'm quite surprised to find that it's a fairly kind of close run thing. I thought most Americans would have seen sense and voted for Biden, but who can say? People say, or people have left comments on certain videos of mine about I should mind my own business, that the American election has nothing to do with me. Well, actually it does. 50% of my customers, 50% of my viewers, and 50% of my income comes from the US. So it's very much my business. YouTube is an American business. Its advertisers are mostly American. And the fact that my ad revenue has dropped, they're claiming due to the coronavirus, by 77% as of yesterday. Last week it was only 57%. This week it's now down by 77%. And I'll put a screen grab up so you can see my analytics. That was taken this morning. So that's what's happened to YouTube ad revenue. It might be that adverts are appearing, and according to my YouTube analytics, in the last 28 days there was over 15,000 adverts on my videos. So that's the whole of my video catalogue, back catalogue. You know, an advert has appeared that many times on the back catalogue. And bearing in mind, I've got over 1,000 videos on my YouTube channel, and yet there's no revenue coming in from it. So Ian and I have got to think of other ways of generating income. So apart from obviously the products that we sell, the digi downloads that we sell, we have to think of other ways. Obviously, our day job stuff is non-existent because, you know, that's all dried up because of the coronavirus pandemic and all that kind of thing. And I appreciate people are trying to hold on to the money. People are trying to save because they just don't know what's going to happen. But, you know, we've still got to pay our bills. So we've still got a lot of discussion, a lot of deciding on what we're going to do and how we're going to do it going forward. So yeah, it's one of those things. Who knows what tomorrow brings, as the song says. So I'm at the supermarket. It doesn't look as though we're queuing, which is a good sign. So I think this time round it's going to be more social distancing, excuse the muffledness, social distancing and sanitising. So swap the glasses for the reading, because I'm going to need these more than the other ones. Plus I don't steam up as much. Put those in my pocket. Right, and off we go. Once more into the breach, dear friends. Steamed up a tad. So, price of the groceries gone up again. Just all seems to be a bit negative today. So yeah, I suppose prices never really came down after the first lockdown in March and April. That's when the supermarkets hiked the prices, and they've stayed that kind of level of higher right up until now. And then today just seems to be high still, at least £20 more than what I would normally spend in there on a kind of ordinary sized shop. But like we've said, it's the new normal. It is what it is. So it's been a busy week in the office this week, what with trying to get the rest of our annual tax records and accounts sorted and finished, which we've now done. Yay! All done and dusted, so ready to send off to the government so they can tell us how much tax we owe. Lovely, can't wait for that one. But also I've been sat designing some new stencils, so I've got currently 8 new stencil designs which I will share in the future, maybe next week, maybe the week after, depends when the prototypes get back and I know the designs actually work. Also, Ian, as you can see behind me,
Afternoon, or good morning, or good evening.
Yeah, depending on when,
Yeah.
has finally finished the Beekeeper's Handbook ephemera and signature sets that you've all been asking for. So I have them here, I've printed them all out and I've made them all up. So I'll turn over to my overhead camera and show you what we've got. So this is everything you're going to get in that Beekeeper's Digi download. So don't forget there are 2 versions of this Digi download. One which will be the metric A4 version for Europe and Australia, I think. And also there will be a US version which is the Imperial 8.5 by 11. So the 2 different versions, metric and Imperial. So what do you get in the Digi-Download set? Well, let me just move all this ephemera to one side for a second, and we'll go through the folios for the signatures for your book. Alright, so I've printed these out on Imperial metric A4. Okay, so you get the True Taste of Nature, which is the lined paper with the honeycomb down and the gaillardias. You get the honeycomb with the lines as well, Be the Best You Can Be. You get the grid with Nature's Best Friend with that fantastic scroll and the little bumblebees. Taste of Sunshine with the crowns, the bees and the lines. So plenty and plenty spaces for writing. Plant flowers for the bees, again with that honeycomb and the lilac. You've got the grid paper with that fantastic kind of woodcut effect and the little bees floating around. It's grid paper. You get the lined, always wear the correct clothing with that little front of that booklet from the clothing house with the bees on it. Again, the crowns, the lines, the honeycomb with the bumblebees, not bumblebees, honeybees. You get the honeycomb with the snapdragons, or is it Sweet William? I can never remember. It doesn't matter, either way, they're pretty flowers. And again, lined paper to write on, and then finally you've got that beautiful camellia that you can put in the centre page, which is what we did with them. So there's 10 folio designs for your signatures. Don't forget, like I've just said, this Digi-Download is available in metric A4 and also Imperial 8.5 by 11 for our friends across the pond. So those are the folios, 10 designs, fabulous. Let's have a look at the ephemera. Now I've already gone ahead, well, actually I haven't gone ahead and cut it all out, Ian has, he's done it all for me, because he's nice like that sometimes. So let's have a look at the tuck spots and the corner spots, corner pockets first of all. So in the Digi-Download set you get 4 of the B ones. Now bearing in mind these are interchangeable left and right. Doesn't matter which way around you have them, left and right. So you're getting those 4 corner tuck spots with the bees on and the little honeycomb kind of rivets, if you like. You also get floral ones. I think there's 4 designs of these. So we've got the Launica, which is the honeysuckle, the lilac, the camellia and the gaillardia. And you're also getting left and right of those 4 as well. Fabulous stuff, left and rights of those. So those are the tuck spots. You're getting 1 each of the 2 tags. Bearing in mind you can print these out as many times as you want. Now these are also ones that you can, like this, they come on the sheet where you can just print them out, cut them out, fold them to create the tags. But if you want to leave them open for journaling on, you can. It just means that you can't fasten string or ribbon to the top. It's up to you, whichever way. There's options there. They've obviously got writing on the back as well. So you get 1 each of those 2 big journaling tags. And like I said, you can print those as many times as you want to include in your journal. The 2 journaling cards with the bees on the front. There's writing lines on the back, but on the inside you've got grid paper. Are you okay over there?
Yes, thank you. I just swallowed a fly, I think.
You just swallowed a fly?
Oh, yes.
Oh dear. So we've got the grid paper there, so you can use that for bullet journaling, writing down birthdays, anniversaries, telephone numbers, whatever. Lists. Use them for lists if you want to.
The grid is page 20 of the PDF, so you can print it on the back.
Yeah, I didn't actually say there was how many pages there were just yet, but yeah, so...
Okay, sorry.
It's alright, no worries. We've got that there, Practical Beekeeping for Beginners. Again, you've got the grid on the inside and the lines on the back. 1 each of those, but bearing in mind, again, you can print those as many times as you want to include in your journal. And then you've got the flower ones. So, same again, these have got the honeycomb on the outside with those lovely floral panels in the middle with the bees on. So we've got, let's see if I can try and get this right. So campanulas, again, you've got the grid and then the lines on the back for writing. So campanula, anthurium, antirrhinum, don't know how it's pronounced, I think Sweet William or Snapdragon. I can't remember which one they are. But again, you're getting that one, you're getting the camellia, you're getting the gaillardias, you're getting the lilac, and you're getting the Launica, the honeysuckle. So you're getting all those. Not only, but also you're getting these panels here, which you can use like we have to stick onto envelopes. Ian's already made them up for me. So you can either use those as journaling squares, or you can use them as panels to stick onto envelopes if you wish. And you're getting 4 designs of those. So getting the most out of your hives, caring for your bees, clothing house, that's the same one that was in the folios on the signatures, and my favourite one of all, famous bees in history. Yeah. So you're getting all that massive pile, plus you're getting the signatures in one 20-page digi-download. So what we'll do is I'll put a clickable link in the description area below this video, and then for you to purchase if you wish to. So all that happened, I'll tell you what, let's go back to my normal camera. So there you go, you get quite a lot in that digi-download. So yes, we have had a very busy week this week. What we're trying to get that download ready, but also designing new stencils and that kind of stuff as well, ready for maybe next year or maybe for later in the year. So all that I need to do now is to draw this week to a close and just say a huge thank you to everybody who has left comments, supports the channel and has purchased from the website. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, videos like this would not be possible. Thank you. So that's all from us for this week. I'll see you all again in the next. Bye for now.